Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. This is Smart English Live, and I'm your teacher, Joshua. I was the former director of Spokane College of English Language. I'm here in Spokane, Washington, and we are continuing our Smart Live classes in our brand new Northside studio. Which is great. I'm excited everybody's here. You're asking wonderful questions, warming up in the chat. I've been chatting for about half an hour with everybody hanging out. And it looks like maybe my camera setting's a bit off. I'm gonna bring up a setting really quick and change that for us so that it looks a little bit better. There we go, changing. That looks a little bit more natural, more normal. So, now I don't look so blue. Okay, so I am going to talk about APA today. I'm going to jump right into it. APA. APA is an acronym that gets thrown around a lot in academics, particularly writing classes or classes that feature a lot of writing, like essay writing. And what APA stands for is American Psychological Association. So you might think, well, I'm not taking psychology. Why do I need to know APA? Well, the American Psychological Association is just the group, the entity that created the stylization, the format that is APA that many other disciplines use. Pretty much all the hard sciences use APA formatting. And by hard sciences, I mean biology, chemistry, geology, sociology, psychology. All of these sciences use APA formatting when you're making, listen to me. I said don't use the verb make in an essay, academic essay. When you are creating, when you're composing, when you are drafting an academic essay. The reason I say don't say make is because there's other verbs in the English language that are better for specific situations. And academic English, which is this class, we're studying English for academic purposes. This is a class where we want to flex our vocabulary. We want to use the correct words in the correct moments. So, I am going to... I actually, there's not enough time for me to personally say hello to everybody, but hello to all of our frequent Smart Live visitors. I tried to type hello to individuals earlier, but if you're new, let us know in the chat too. If this is your first class, if you're showing up, it's a good class to start out at. Let us know, and we will welcome you. We are going to go over all the basics of APA today, and we're going to continue this through next week. So you'll have a little bit of homework today if you're a premium subscriber, and then you're going to study APA this week, come to class next week with lots of good questions. We're going to answer them, and then we're going to show you how to format your essays. So Yulia Bilanova. Yulia is new. Welcome, Yulia, everybody. Happy to have you. If you want to sign up, you get a free month of Smart Live Premium, which is the premium subscriber feature. So I'll kind of show you what that is and what you get. Let me go to our lesson here really quick so I can bring up some of the stuff we're going to be doing. So this is our class. This is English for academic purposes, English 140. And there are great lessons here. We talk about deforestation, global warming, which is more commonly called climate change. In my opinion, we have social issues, we have poverty, homelessness, obesity, health and medicine, comparisons between Chinese and Western medicine, health and medicine, cloning, stem cells, sleep cycles. There's a lesson on Da Vinci that I love to teach in here, and APA references and guidelines, which clearly I was searching for before. So in this class, we study all of the strategies. You learn and pick up all of the tools to help you in an academic environment. So I'm going to take attendance for our premium subscribers right now. Make sure most students are logged in. If you're not logged in, if you're watching this later, send me an email and let me know why you weren't able to come into class. I know Rosa has something going on. Totally fine, Rosa. You're a wonderful premium subscriber, been with us a long time. I'm happy to work around your schedule. So whatever's going on, don't worry about it. You can turn in the homework later, and we can hang out after class. I think I have another hangout scheduled. If Sarbajit's in the house, I think he's a little bit late today. Let's hang out after class if you have time, and we'll chat about some of the individual stuff you're working on. So if you want to sign up, if you want to check out what it's like to be a premium subscriber, go to this link, smartenglish.com. That's SMRT English.com/live/live. And you can check it out. It has the times of our classes. It has your teachers. This is Neil. He's in Spokane, Washington as well. We have the wonderful and highly intellectual Sean, who's up in Canada, Vancouver, BC. You can take his class as well. We have this goofy guy. Not much to say there. So you can take any of our classes, sign up. It's great. So check that out. Also, if you have any questions, you can email Zach. Let me make the font size a little bigger here. Zach at smartenglish.com. He is a guru for all things Smart Live. Let's give him that title, Smart Live Guru. All right, so that is his title. And then, of course, if you need to email me for any reason, email me at joshua.live@smartenglish.com. Wow, just a little too big there. Let's move that indent so you can see it on one line. So that is me. You can email me anytime for any questions. Totally cool. Also, because we do have the Smart Live on Facebook, Learn Smart English on Facebook. I'll send you the link in just a second. You can add me and I can direct you to that page too if you want. Here is the link to my page. Add me as a friend. Love new friends, always great. And here is the group that I manage, Learn English on Facebook groups. So you can join here too. Lots of great discussions. In fact, I should probably post for today's video. I have not done that yet. Check it out. All right, so we'll see if we can get some more people in the live class today from that. Okay, so what is APA? We talked a little bit about it. It stands for the American Psychological Association. And, well, I'll show you. Yeah, let's just start with the definition here. So it stands for the American Psychological Association, and it is, APA is a style of writing commonly used in the hard sciences. So examples of those are biology, chemistry, psychology, all of the fields of medicine, geology, it goes on and on. There is a multitude of sciences that would use this. I mean, when I think of going to college and studying a profession, STEM professions, for example, some of the most popular disciplines that are going to be needed in the next decade, 2 decades, you're going to need APA format. Now, I studied creative writing in undergrad, and we used MLA. So MLA is another writing style used in the liberal arts. Okay, so liberal arts examples are creative writing. What else? Maybe philosophy. An art degree. Okay. So all of those would use MLA. However, this is APA, and this is what we're talking about today. So any questions so far about what APA is? Like anything you want to know? JB, I haven't read that yet. I try to not. Let's see. French Leo, go ahead. Yeah, have at it. All right. Why do I write hard sciences? Are there soft sciences? Everything's a science, right? We've heard this term before where people say, it's a science. Making good coffee, it's a science. Sure, yeah. Cooking is a science. It's a very fine science too. I mean, it's chemistry. Baking bread is chemistry. Science is all around us all the time. Science is, I think, by far the most important discipline in all of education because science, the basis of science is the fundamental truth, underlying truth of the world in which we exist, right? Our biology, how we breathe, how we survive, how we live is based in science. I think science is the most important field to study. Now, science is a broad term that encompasses lots and lots and lots of fields of study, lots of disciplines of study. So it's kind of hard to say, but yeah, hard sciences and soft sciences. So hard sciences are the sciences that govern the essential elements of the universe, right? Mathematics, engineering, biology, chemistry, physiology, geology, all of those are hard sciences. Soft sciences are the science of emotion, right? Creative writing or something like that. Philosophy, the science of thinking. And it's not that these are unimportant, it's that they're less tangible. You can't grab on to the idea of love, right? Oxytocin maybe, but you can't grab love. You can't grab a dream. You can't, although ornology, I think it's ornology, is the study of dreams. So there are underlying chemical reactions going on in the brain. It does rely on physiology and chemistry and neurology and all these hard sciences. But the actual idea of dreams and taking that dream and turning it into a creative story, those are softer sciences. I don't know if anyone actually uses soft science, but I like it. Maybe I'll start a blog, softscience.com or something. I don't know. So, great questions. Fairy asks a question, Fairy Flower, fun name. Does all APA paper have to have a cover page? Do all APA papers have to have a cover page? I'm currently writing an APA paper for my sociology class. Yes is the easy answer. Instructors will require different things. They should give you guidelines. They should give you their own guidelines. If they don't give you guidelines, assume yes, your paper needs a cover page. And we'll talk a little bit about that today. Bharat says there's a new student in the class. Shivaraj Patil, welcome. I'm sure I'm saying your name incorrectly, and I'm sorry. Please help me. I will try to learn to say it correctly. Hi, Sarbajit. Good to have you. And Hyatt is here from Melbourne, Australia. Hello, welcome. All right, JB. Yeah, please. No politics. Let's keep politics out of that. That's a science we can do without in our English class. Jose, welcome back. Hello. And hello, name using the Russian alphabet that I cannot pronounce. I'm sorry. Anna, I think, is how you pronounce that. I think it's Anna. Hello, how are you? Hello from Morocco. And I think I've got everybody's questions. So yes, I would say it's safe to say you need a cover page. So let's talk about that a little bit. I'm going to drill a few things. Steve, hi. Welcome to class. I'm going to drill a few things into your head that we should remember. The easiest things to remember right off the bat is font size and font type. Okay? So I'm going to select all of the font here. And I'm going to change this from the default. So default in Google Docs is Arial size 11 single spaced. And it might be a little hard to see. I'm actually going to zoom in, but this little button here, this is the space button, line spacing, single spaced. So what we want to change this to from Arial, we want to select everything. I'm using Control A on the keyboard there. I want you to select everything and change this to Times New Roman, size 12. Okay? I'm going to zoom in so you can see that. Times New Roman, and then size 12. Okay? And then we want to make this double spaced. Times New Roman, size 12, double spaced. There we go. That's what we want to go with for our font style, okay? I'm going to type that in the chat as well, and I'll put that in our notes. Notes about APA. Okay? So 3 steps. One is Times New Roman font. Second thing is size 12. And the third is double spaced. Okay? And I'm even going to do a little snap here of what the spacing. Let's just do all this here. So we have Times New Roman, size 12, and then we have double spaced, okay? And I'm just gonna put that into our notes here. Okay? That way you can see. For later. So that's where the font is, the size, and then that little button there in Google Docs is the way we change the spaces. Okay, what's the full form of MLA? Let's talk about MLA later, Sarbajit. Today is just APA. They're similar, and the truth is if you learn, APA is harder, in my opinion. I went through school using MLA, and after studying MLA and then going to APA, I found APA to be a little bit more difficult. But the good news is, if we learn APA, then MLA will feel easy. So I like to teach APA in classes because if I teach the more difficult one, then, and you feel comfortable with it, MLA will be easy. So don't worry about that. All right. Okay. Sarbajit, I'm going to talk about the previous week's quiz individually with each student. I sent you an email before class. If you have time to hang out after class, let's do that. And we'll talk about your quiz and the question you emailed me, okay? If any other premium subscribers submitted their quiz and they want to hang out also after class, send me an email. I will schedule a time. We'll just have a short hangout, 5-10 minutes after class, and I'll just meet with everybody individually. So if you're interested in that, send me an email, okay? All right, so those are the first 3 notes to creating APA. We want to be Times New Roman, size 12, double spaced. Now let's read up a little bit about APA. So what is APA? I just went ahead and did a Google search, what is APA, because that's what likely you will do. And I want to compare some different sites that are available and see what they have to say about it. So this website, EasyBib, which is a blog, it is, I don't know anything about it. I don't know who created it, but it is information that came up as a top search result in Google. So I want to see what it's about, see if it's valid, credible, etc. So what is APA? APA stands for American Psychological Association. We've talked about that. This blog defines it as a common formatting style for essays and papers in social sciences. They say social sciences. It has unique format for in-text and reference pages. That is true. Its style and guidelines increase the ease of reading comprehension for viewers and ensure consistent presentation of content and written material. Now that's true. And this also references the publication manual of the American Psychological Association, 6th edition, second printing. So what this is referencing is actually this manual, this publication manual. It's up to the 6th edition. So this website is a little bit outdated. Oh no, sorry, this says 6th edition. So that's good. This, I believe the 6th edition is the most recent one. This is the manual that is the original manual. You could buy this if you want. Like I said in a previous class, abebooks.com is my favorite online book shopping site. Let's see what comes up when we just search APA, or we'll be more specific, American Psychological Association. Style guide, we want. Let's see if APA style guide comes up. Wow, really hard to find that. Let's just copy and paste this. See if that comes up. Anyhow, it's probably not too expensive. There we go. So it's $8 US, $3.99 with shipping within the USA. A little bit more if you're shipping somewhere else, I'm sure. But you could buy this pretty easily. Oh, Medford, Oregon. It's not far from here. I like Medford. Anyhow, this is the book that everyone is referencing. So if you want the original copy, it's great. It's a little hard to digest sometimes. That's why there are so many resources and blogs that kind of simplify APA style. But everybody is referencing this one book to make sure they get it correct. So you can present it a lot of different ways. This video here is presenting it in my way, which is sort of, I'm looking at a bunch of different resources for it. Purdue OWL is another website. This is one that I reference for my students all the time. This is kind of my number one go-to. OWL stands for, it's another acronym, Online Writing Lab of Purdue. Purdue is a university here in the United States, and they are very prestigious when it comes to getting things right. It's a well-respected university, and this online writing lab is a great resource that I have had conversations with students that have gone to university all over the United States, and many, many, many universities reference this site because it's good. It's a little complex, it has a lot of information, but it's good information, so you can trust this site. It's an EDU site, so we talked a little bit about that when we talked about credible sources. .edu, .org, .gov, these sites are usually a little bit more credible. And this talks about general format. Again, defining APA as American Psychological Association. JB's used OWL before. Awesome. Very good. Hacker's Pride. Sarbajit notices there's a citation generator. Yes, that is good. Use the citation generator. Please do. But here's my advice. Learn how to make citations first. Don't start with the citation generator. Because you have to know the basics of creating good citations, then you can generate citations, okay? So be careful with that. You can always use the quick and easy method. You should always use the quick and easy method, but only after you've learned to do something correctly. Take your time. Slowly learn the ins and outs of APA citation, then use the easy tools, okay? If you start using the easy tools, you will make mistakes. If you learn it the correct way and then move to the easy tools, you still might make mistakes, but you're less likely to do so. So we're going to come back to this. So here was one site. Here's another explaining APA. What is APA? My papers do. It must be an APA style. Okay, so it originated in 1929 is what this site says. This is another... this is the American Psychological Association style.org. Interesting. So this looks like a pretty good site. Again, I don't know much about it, though. I found this morning right before class, just so I could explore with you. This says it originated in 1929. A group of psychologists, anthropologists, and business managers got together, and sought to establish a simple set of procedures or style rules that would codify the main components of scientific writing to increase the ease of reading comprehension. So basically, a bunch of professionals working in academics got together and they said, hey, we're getting all different styles here. Let's create one way to do things. And it worked. So there are other editorial styles too. There's the Chicago Manual. There's MLA. APA is no different. It consists of guidelines, selection of heading, tone and length, punctuation, abbreviation, presentation of numbers and statistics, tables, figures, references, etc. We're going to focus on overall style. What does the paper look like? And then references. Those are our two main focuses for these two classes that we're going to have. Hiding Love, you are a little bit late. No worries, though. We're just getting started. Okay. So Owl Purdue to find the site. I'll link the site for you guys. Don't worry about it. I will link the site both in our class notes. Let's say helpful sites. Helpful sites. Here's Owl Purdue. Oops. Owl Purdue. Here is ABE books. Okay. What else have we used? I'll link all the sites that we're talking about. I'm not going to link this one just because I found it today. I don't know much about it. You can find it too. Just Google it. Here is the publication manual that I had referenced before. In case you want to find that later, I'll put that in our class notes also. Just a image of it. The APA manual. Looks like that. So you can find it if you go book shopping later. Let's just put this down here. And I'll include other sites as we go if we use any other. Pattern of writing for scientists. That's a good way to put it, French Leo. All right. Could I pronounce that site full name once for us? Which site? This site? Owl Purdue Online Writing Lab. But remember, Online Writing Lab is OWL. OWL is just a fun acronym because it's an animal. It's a bird that is a symbol of wisdom and knowledge. This bird right here. It's representative in our culture of knowledge and wisdom. So it's a cool animal. So that's what they're referencing there. But Purdue Owl, or OWL, Purdue Online Writing Lab. That is the website. I hope that's the one you wanted me to pronounce. So how do I create pre-format? Like, how do I make my life easier? Sarbajit was saying, well, oh, there's a generator. Awesome. Yeah, let's make our lives easier. Something that I suggest doing is your default settings in Google Docs is Arial font, size 11, single spaced. So I'm going to change everything back to the default. All right. So now if I type something, oops, not bold. If I type something, it looks like this. Okay. I'm just typing garbage, just gibberish. But it looks like this. This is the font. It looks very different than this font, right? This font, this is sans serif. This is serif font, which means it has the little flat parts at the tops and the bottoms of the letters. This does not have that. It's a little more casual in writing. So if you're doing creative writing, you can kind of change the font, do a lot of different stuff. But this is very close together, and if you have to read a long essay like this, it can hurt your eyes. And if you're a professor or an instructor at a college, and you read your papers of your students, you're reading a lot of them. 30, 40, 50, maybe 200 papers. So if you're the student that turns in a paper that is difficult to read and you hurt your professor's eyes trying to read it, they might give you bad marks, whether they know it or not. So you don't want that. So how do we change this? Because every time I make a new Google document, every time I do this, it's going to be the same, and I'm going to have to change it every single time. Well, you can change your default settings in Google Doc. You can change them. And I found a great little website that shows you how to change those right here. This is a teacher's blog. I think her name's Anne Brucker, I believe. And her blog site is 406 Ideation, Big Ideas Under the Big Sky. So this is a reference to Montana, which I love because my grandparents are in Montana. I spent every summer there when I was a kid. It's a beautiful state. It's amazing. And I instantly realized 406, that's the area code of Montana. If you call the telephone number for a telephone in Montana, it starts 406. And the reference is Big Sky State. It's beautiful. Anyway, I like that just because it's about Montana. But this actually has really great information. It's presented really clearly, and there's images. So this is a good website to see how to change your default settings. So I'll include this in the notes too. Change Google Doc font style. Okay, so here's where you can learn to change Google Docs default style. Okay, change your Google Docs default style at this website here, and we're going to do it together, so you can always go back and watch this video too. But what we're going to do is first we're going to go to the Google Doc menu and go to Page Setup, and we will change the margins to whatever size we want. Okay, and we're going to go off of basic APA guidelines. So you see here, your essay should be typed double spaced on standard size paper, 8.5 by 11. That's a standard size paper that's created with 1-inch margins on all sides. And then we use 12-point Times New Roman font. So let's go in and do that. Let's do page setup first. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to hit Command A or Control A and go into File. So that selects all my font here. Control A or Command A. select all. The other way you could do that is go File, or excuse me, Edit, Select All. Okay. So we're going to select all, and then we're going to go into Page Setup. So that is, I have to zoom out a little bit here. That's at the bottom right here. So File, Page Setup, and this will give us our margins. So they're already set here. I think I changed them a long time ago, or maybe these are Google's default. Page size, 8.5 by 11, 1 inch all the way down. So 1, 1, 1, 1, and then we want to say set as default. Okay, and then OK. So that's exactly what this blog recommended. Set as default and then OK. Now we're going to type some text. So you need to type something. We've already typed some of our notes here, but if you don't have anything, just type gibberish. It doesn't matter. And then hit Command A or Control A, or go File, Edit, Select All. And then we want to go down to paragraph styles. I'm going to zoom in here because it's nice. When I try to zoom into Google Docs, it doesn't quite work. So you want to go to Format, Paragraph Styles, and then go over here to Options and Save as my default styles. Okay? Save as my default styles. So we want to change it to what we want. And then we want to save that as our default styles. We need to update normal text to match. So let's go and I'll show you step by step. So we want to select all. So Edit, Select All, or Command A or Control A. And then we want to change our font. We want to make sure everything is Times New Roman, size 12, and then this button over here, double spaced. Okay, font, Times New Roman, size 12, double spaced. And then once we've done that, we go to Format, we go to Paragraph Styles, Normal Text, and then Update Normal Text to Match. Okay, Update Normal Text to Match. And now I see that I made a mistake here. I had it on bold. We don't want bold to be the default setting. So I want to take that off. And then I want to go in again and do the same thing. So I want to go to Format, Paragraph Styles, Normal Text, Update Normal Text to Match. Now I want to check and see, okay, still double space, Times New Roman, size 12. Now I want to go in again and go Format, Paragraph Styles, Options, which is the bottom here, and then Save as my default styles. Save as my default styles. Now everything I'm doing, this teacher here has done already for you and done nice screenshots showing you, outlining what to do. So if you go to my notes, it's linked to her page, and right here you will be able to go to this link. So you can use her blog, I think it's great, or you can watch this video again. But now our default styles have been set. So every time I open a new Google document, it should already have these settings. So I want to test it out with you. I'm going to open a new Google document. We're going to create it in this shared folder. And I'm just going to check. I'm going to see, okay, if I type something, hello, students. If I type something here, oh, yeah, it is Times New Roman, size 12, and bam, double spaced. Perfect. Now, every single Google Doc I open is already going to be pre-formatted in APA styles. And I highly suggest using Google Documents to create your essays. It automatically tracks the changes like Microsoft Word can do. It has all the best features of Pages or Microsoft Word. It's all online. You can change a bunch of settings so that it's available offline. It's great. I love it. I use it. It's pretty much the only thing I use for all of my writing. So yeah, check it out. French Leo says, okay, easy. Awesome. Good. Things are going to get harder. I know this might be easy for some of you, but for some of you, this might be really difficult. You might have to watch this video a couple times and then go through it. French Leo says it's easier to read. Probably. This is probably easier to read than to watch me do it. So check out this teacher's website. It looks like she's very much into technology in the classroom, which I am a fan of, obviously. So check her out. It looks like a great website. Let me know if you have any questions too. Just send me an email. Okay, so enough of this. Let's go into Smart English's notes on APA references. So APA reference guidelines. We're going to talk about this a little bit and then finish class today. We're going to start this up again with references next class. So 15:30 GMT next week. It's a way to avoid being blind after 40 pages. So true, French Leo. So true. So for all of you that are premium subscribers, this is in English 140. I'll show you where it is. We are in the APA guideline, which is right at the top here of the contents. So APA reference guideline is where we are. Your reference list should always be double-spaced and alphabetized with a hanging indent. So I'll show you probably what a hanging indent is just briefly today. But if we don't get time, don't worry about it. We're going to go over it in great detail next class. But it's where normally you type a paragraph and you press tab, the tab key on your keyboard, and it indents the first line. Hanging indent is exactly the opposite. It's where your first line is not indented, but every line after is. And it's just a way to stylize your references so that they're easy to read. That's the whole point of APA. Hello, David. Good to have you. All right. Manic, the topic today is APA guidelines. Next class is going to be APA formats. Okay, Bharat, this is what you were looking for. Awesome. That's great. We're going to talk next class about the APA guidelines. So the reference page, what does that look like? What do your paragraphs look like? What does your citation page, your reference page look like? And we'll talk about in-text citation also. So if your source is a web page, here's what your reference looks like. In this example, we have a fictitious author named B. Smith, and the article was written October 5th, 2010. The article title is Stuff I Like to Write When I'm Sleeping. Stuff I Like to Write When I'm Sleeping. The website name is Dreaming Stuff, and retrieve from is a standard reference format. And then here's the URL, the website. Here's a web page with no date. So same author, Smith B. ND for no date. Same title, same website name, and then retrieve from. Web page no author. You notice we just leave the author off. We start with the website name, then the date, then the article title, and then retrieve from. And don't worry, I'm going really fast, just talking about the slight differences, but we're going to go over this in great detail next class. So we'll do this again, don't worry. Web page, no date, no author. If you have an online video like YouTube, this is what it looks like. Dreaming stuff I like to write when I'm dreaming or sleeping. Video file, retrieve from. Journal article, and we've talked a little bit about how to search scholarly articles in Google. Here's a journal article with two authors. We use the ampersand here, Smith B and Jones TM. Journal article with three authors, first last name, second last name, third last name, fourth last name, 3 to 5 authors. So there's 4 there. And then a book, how to cite a book with the publisher, okay? And then the in-text citations look a little bit different here too. So we'll talk about those in detail, but you can kind of preview this a little bit. What we're going to go over next week is APA guidelines, breaking down the styles. And there's several lessons on this, but to give you a preview, the instructions here on the Smrt English page is it's very important to tell the reader of your essay where you got certain ideas you used. Where did you get your information? Every time you use specific information from a source, so think percentages, think claims, right? 1 in 5 scientists say, where did you get that information? Are you just making it up? 25% of all adults believe blah, blah, blah. Where's the survey from? Where are you citing this information? Anytime you use a number like that, you got that number from somewhere. If not, if you're just making it up, don't put it in your essay. But if you use a statistic, if you use a ratio, if you use a percentage, or if you reference data of any kind, you're referencing it from somewhere. So you need to cite that reference. You need to cite that information. So you must provide a reference for that and include specific information about it. So other scientists, other writers, other readers can go in and find out where you found your information, if that information was correct and accurate, etc., etc. So we have to provide the websites that we are using in our research. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have questions about it, let me know. What does the word indent mean? Good question. I'm going back and making sure I get all of your questions here. So what does the word indent mean? Indent means, let me show you here. Let's see if there's a visual. How to indent. I don't want any of that. I want to see a keyboard. Okay, so if we're looking at a keyboard, this key right here, let me do it this way. If we're looking at a keyboard, we indent by using this key right here. It's a tab key, okay? I'll just draw a terrible arrow there. The tab key is how we indent. So to indent means placing a space before the first sentence in a paragraph to indicate the beginning of the paragraph. So you use this key, this tab key. Do not use the space bar. That should have been something else that I put on here. Let's make sure that we're not using the space bar at all. It's bad. We don't want to do that. I didn't know if I could use a text box there. Okay, so we do not want to use a space bar. We want to use the tab key. And this allows us to see where our paragraphs start. Okay, use the tab key, not the space bar, please. Hopefully that answers your question. And JB did a good job. You leave a bit of space from the side from where you start writing. And it's just at the beginning of paragraphs. That's it. David is typing from a cell phone. That does make it difficult. I'm not sure a way around that. It depends on which cell phone you're using. Tabulation. Fun word, French Leo. All right. So we want to make sure we do that. If you do a hanging indent, just briefly, here's how you do it. You pull the left indent over, and then you bring this top bar backwards, and that will give you a hanging indent. We're not going to worry about that right now. We will do that later on. Next class, I'll show you in detail how to do that. So that is our reference example. Again, here we're breaking down these reference details, how we provide the information. So author name, we use the last name followed by a comma and the first initials. Publication year, we use a bracket or parentheses. That's actually parentheses, not a bracket. Followed by a year and a comma. Month and date, if available. There's a period after the end parenthesis, not a bracket. The article title in regular type and followed by a period. Wow, there's 2 errors here. I will fix this before next class. Capitals only for the first word, proper nouns in following colons. The website name, we use the host of the article in regular type followed by a period. And then the website address, we follow it with a hyperlink. Retrieve from, no colon, and then the hyperlink. So here's what an example should look like. Now, we've gotten the question, do we italicize any part of this? It depends. It depends on the type of reference. Those details are going to be found on Purdue. Plexio's here. Do I have to use my... I'm not sure what that word means. I'm going to have to look up the definition of that word. Wow, okay. Under what context, Plexio? What are you talking about? All right. So this will have more details. The Purdue Online Writing Lab will have more details about specific references. We kind of give you stylization on the most common ones. Web page with no date, no author or date, online videos, journal articles, and books. These are the most common ones you're going to use in your own research, most likely. Okay, so check this out, review this. There is an exercise right here. There's a link to APA guidelines. So we have guidelines right here. We also have here an exercise. So this is for premium subscribers. Ignore the first part. In week 1, you put together a website for Chinese and Western medicine. You've done your own research and you've done your own essays previously, probably. A lot of you have talked to me before about different essays you're writing, and that's awesome. That you're in college or in university or even in high school and you're writing essays and you're asking questions about APA format and guidelines. But I'd like you to cite some of these using the styles that we've talked about today. I want you to practice doing it on your own. So this is your homework for premium subscribers, this Google document. And I'm just going to cite the lesson in our class notes. This will be sent, I'm going to put it right at the top actually so you don't have to search for it. Homework for today's class is going to be this lesson. Please do the exercise on APA guidelines. Okay. Whoops, guidelines. Please do the exercise on APA guidelines. All right. Yes, so you do use the author's last name. We call it a lot of different things. We call it family name. Yes, JB is correct, and gave a good answer to Plexio. And in APA guidelines, we would just use the last part of the last name. So many times in a lot of South American cultures, actually, you have four names, and so the last two names are both patronyms, and we would use just the latter of the two. So Smith in this example would be the latter of the two patronyms. So Smith is the family name, the given name, or excuse me, the family name, the what is the other word for it? I can't remember, but it's the last name, if that helps, is generally what we use. But it's kind of the choice of the author. Whatever you choose to put on your publication, just use, like if an author did put four names, use the last name. If they only put three names, use the last of those three names. All right, so the most interesting part of APA is the citation. I agree. Citation is the most common, most useful, and most interesting part of APA guidelines, I think, as well. All right, we are almost out of time. So you guys know the homework, you know the class notes. As a review, here is the homework for today. I'm not going to use APA. I'm going to make that nice and big so that you know what you are supposed to do for homework today. I'm also going to use bold to distinguish our definitions here and our notes, and to give you good references to our helpful sites. We have our APA manual, so here's what it looks like. Here's the link to the online writing lab. Here's the link to buy books if you want. Here's how to change Google Docs default style. And here's what the word indent means. So hopefully this class was helpful to you. We're going to be back next week with more APA formatting. We're going to go even deeper into the specifics of how to create your title page, what it should look like, what your reference page should look like, how to do hanging indents. That's all happening next week. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. We had a ton of visitors today. At one point we had 63 students in class, so that's awesome. Let's try to bring that number up to, I would love to hit 100 students. I've never had 100 students in my class, and I would love for that to happen. So please, for me, if you like this class, tell your friends, tell your teachers, tell your colleges, tell your high schools, tell everybody to show up to this class next week if they want to learn about APA. Mention it to 5 of your friends on Facebook, whatever you got to do. Bring in more students. I want to see 100 in this class next week. Sign up if you haven't for the free live subscription. smartenglish.com/live/live. I think I deleted it from our notes, but I'll put it back in there. Here is our class notes. Okay, smartenglish.com/live/live. I'll make that nice and big so you guys can see it as well. Zach's email, if you have questions about signing up. My email, okay. So that way you can get the best of the best. All right. Those are the, that did not come up very nicely in the chat. I'm going to paste those individually. There is the website to sign up. Here's Zach's email. Here is my email. And if you just showed up, here's my Facebook as well. We can be friends. Just add me right there. We had a couple people add me during class. So hello. And we will be back next week. I will be here. I'll be ready to rock and roll. Thank you for checking us out on YouTube. Share the video with friends. Yvonne is here, says awesome, thank you. French Leo, bye-bye. Glad to have you. I cut my head off there a little bit. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Yes, I'm going to share the notes right after class. I promise I'll do it right now. In fact, let me just make myself big on the green screen here. And I will share these with everybody that is a premium subscriber right now. I'm just changing the settings on the Google Docs so it's shareable. And I'm going to go into our live class. Thanks again for everybody showing up. Really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the thoughtful questions. You guys are all wonderful academics, and I very much value all of the thoughtful questions you give. So you should be receiving in just 1 second an email with all of our notes from today's class, the homework and everything. And Sarbajit, I will do a hangout with you if you have time. Do you have time after class to do a hangout? I want to talk about your question about creative writing, and I want to talk about your exam and see how you did on your short story exam on the necklace. So let me know if that's okay. Bharat, thank you. Shout out to Rosa if she's watching this later. I know you had to go, but thank you for being an awesome student always. JB, Marathi, Paluxio, French Leo, David, JB, if I didn't say JB, Manic, Hiding Love, if you're still here, Fadis, Anna, Alina, Steve, Vinici, Hyatt, Vu. Oh, we have so many awesome people here in class. Thursara, Diri, Navat, so many people. If I didn't say hello or goodbye, I apologize. There's so many students here. I wish I could spend time with each of you. If you are a premium subscriber, though, I will spend time with each of you. So sign up today. Send me an email if you have questions. And if not, I will see you next week. You're welcome, Pluxio. Jose, good to have you, as always. Take care. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week and have a good weekend. And I will see you guys 15:30 GMT next week, okay? So I think that's it. I think that's it for today. Yeah, any last questions before I leave everybody? You're welcome, Kitara. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right. If there's nothing else, you guys have a good weekend. Send me an email if you think of something after class. Otherwise, here is a short message from the wonderful Sean.
Hi everyone. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smrt Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.